Are you serious? What's going on in Rome? What? Are you serious? Is this Occupy Wall Street wound up in Rome? Well, it's spreading everywhere. People are upset with their governments. They're upset with the inequality of the wealth distribution of the world. There's a few that have the haves and the have-nots. And so the rioting has begun. The anger is really getting worse. In America, it's spread to like 120 cities. Peaceful protesting, but I know folks were arrested in Illinois yesterday. They were arrested in New York. They were arrested in different cities across America, protesting without permits and going into state parks and city parks and just different things happening. Well, in Rome, the mayor said yesterday that it would cost at least 1 million euros to recover from the havoc wreaked by rioters who smashed windows, tore up sidewalks, torched vehicles after breaking off from a peaceful protest. That don't sound peaceful to me. Are you guys serious? What? Are you serious? And what's up with this? Can I just throw this out there for you? People are coming on my YouTube videos. Just yesterday, I don't know what the deal was, but man, I'm just trashing the "Are you serious?" Jesus saved coffee cup. I mean, it's just amazing to me. I mean, you know, they don't get mad about all this other stuff that goes on. It's incredible. It's because of the name of Jesus. Name of Jesus. Of course, that always gets attacked. It says here that the estimate came as cleanup work continued in damaged neighborhoods where many charred vehicles remained parked along the streets. Hundreds of rioters infiltrated a march Saturday by tens of thousands of demonstrators that are unhappy about the global financial crisis. Part of the worldwide version of the Occupy Wall Street protest. Well, in New York. Well, let me just say this. I highly recommend, and I'm all for freedom of speech. I'm not for people burning down Rome. I'm not for burning down, torching cars like they're doing over there in Rome and in some places of the world. But I definitely believe in everyone have a right to have freedom of speech. But I would think it'd be better that we occupy a church near you. It might actually get more accomplished than occupying Wall Street. Anyway, the protesters, some were wearing masks and many were in hoods. They ripped up cobblestones. They tore up the streets. They tore up the sidewalks. They tore up the cobblestones and the slabs of sidewalk. They hurled them at the police and buildings. They smashed windows with hammers. Are you guys serious? We're talking Rome. Police responded with water hoses and tear gas, and protesters also stormed into the churches. Oh, okay, so some people did occupy a church. But look what they did. They tore down the crucifix off the wall and smashed a statue of the Virgin Mary. Is that really called for? Is that going to help change the economic system of Rome or the world or Wall Street? Crashing, throwing down a statue of the Virgin Mary, is that going to help anything? Tearing crucifixes off the wall? That right there shows me there's one thing, freedom of speech, where people have a right to protest and are upset. And a lot of nations are upside down. We're in debt everywhere. America, look at Greece. They're done. You can put a fork in Greece. They're so broke. Poland's messed up. Spain, you guys know what's going on there. America, we know what's going on here. Portugal, they're broke. England's hurting bad. Germany's frustrated. The euro's worthless. When it says it was 1.4 million euros of damage, that may not be that much because the euro is worthless. Okay, so the dollar's about in the bad shape. Economy's in trouble, folks. Didn't I tell you about that? This is Monday, October 17th. It's the third Monday of October. The first Monday of October was truly black. We had a chemical plant was burning down in Dallas, Texas. Black smoke rolling. Stock market fell 258 points. The S&P hit a 52-week low. And the European market hit a 15-month low. That all happened on the first Black Monday of October, October 3rd. Now, last week on Monday wasn't really that bad. Stock market was up. Things were a little more calmer. But It's a mess today. We'll see what today brings. Anyway, Rome is hurting, folks. The interior minister, whose ministry includes the state police corps, said he would brief the Senate on Tuesday in the rioting and the measures to be taken to avoid another replay of such things. So they got a problem in Rome. They really do. They got problems in Rome. We got to pray for them in Rome. But the world is in trouble. And so, I'm going to ask you again to revisit with me in the book of Revelation. Well, we're talking about economic collapsing going on. We need to understand, and of course you can watch my videos on the Black Horsemen galloping through Wall Street. I think he's galloping through the world. This explain this to you. When God said, "Let there be light," there was light. There's always been lights being created. It doesn't just stop. Okay, it isn't a one-time event. When God turned the water red, it just keeps turning red different places. When God sends a hurricane, He keeps sending them in different places. When the Hosea prophecy kicked in this year, when the birds fell out of the sky, the fish started washing up in large fish kills all over the world, and the cattle dying all over the world. It wasn't a one-time event. It just keeps happening and happening and happening. Because once God speaks, His word accomplishes where He sends it. It does not return void. It just keeps going. So when He said, "Let there be light," there was light. Galaxies and stars and comets and asteroids and planets and more galaxies and Milky Ways and just continual creation of light and universes just continues because God's voice just says, "Light." And it goes. So when Jesus returns, He's going to gather the redeemed, and it's going to be powerful. Read what it says in Revelation chapter 6. It's got 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I'm going to read it again to you, though, the third beast. And when He had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. He's the third horseman of the apocalypse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." Now you have to understand, at the time that John received this revelation, there was no pennies. There were shekels and mites. There was no pennies. But he said a penny. And later, a penny would have the worth of a day or 2 days' wages. So we're having an economic meltdown prophesied by John the Revelator in the last days, that the black horse would gallop through the earth, and there would be an economic collapse where you'd have to work a day or 2 just for a loaf of bread. We're talking about a dangerous economic time like the world's never seen. We're headed, folks, in that direction. Matter of fact, the governor of the World Bank of England, really, said the world is headed for the worst financial disaster in history. He said that last Monday, October 10th, another Monday here in October. And let me just say this to you. But here's the good news for you that are saved. And when he opened the 4, he said, though, but he saw the wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny. But see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine is the anointed in grace. The anointed in grace. That is the oil and the wine. So even though the economy may collapse, God's going to provide for those that are faithful to Him. If you've been faithful to the Lord, to the Lord's work, for the gospel of Christ, for the Great Commission, if you're doing what God's told you to do, and that's you'll be protected, you'll be supplied, your needs will be supplied. And it says that right here in Revelation. Who are the oil and the wine? The anointed in grace. Those that are walking in the laws of tithing in Malachi 3, those that are tithing to their local church or tithing into their evangelistic ministry or whatever it is that God's telling you to do. And if you're being obedient, you'll be covered in this time that's upon us of the oil and the wine. Are you saved today? The main thing is, are you saved? Because I'm telling you, the world's not going to get better, folks. It's going to get worse. Would you send me a personal message right here on YouTube? I want to be saved. I want to be saved. Rome is burning. What American city will burn next? Rome is burning. Are you saved? Send me a personal message. I want to be saved. I want to be saved. Do it now. I'll talk about Common Eleanor when I come back. I want to be saved. I want to be saved. Do it now. Personal inbox. Jesus.